My name is Charlie Arnold. My fabulous co-host of First Take, Her Take, joining us for today's show. We have Kimberly A. Martin, also Chiney Ogumake. Ladies, this is our time to shine. Let's get it. We have a lot to talk about. Obviously, Dak Prescott just got a huge deal. There's a lot of other quarterback news going on. And we all know how Stephen A. feels about the Cowboys. So yesterday, of course, he had to invite Michael Irvin onto Stephen A.'s world and talk about Dak's new deal. Watch this.
If the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl, not only will I MC the parade in front of all of those disgusting fans of y'all, I actually wear one of your suits doing it.
I will see you at SoFi, and we're going to be looking SoFi. We're going to be the Fi. The Dallas Cowboys going to be at SoFi Stadium. That's right, for the Super Bowl, and we're going to be looking SoFi and SoFi with that star on the
Oh, my God.
Okay, so you all heard that. Stephen A. has put it on the line. If the Cowboys win a Super Bowl, he will be hosting the parade in Dallas. That will be a sight to see. Marcus Spears, welcome into the show. Welcome to Ladies Hour, Ladies 2 Hours.
What's up? What's up, my sisters? I'm honored to be amongst the GOATs, right? Like, I love it. I love it.
All right, well, let's get into some quarterback talk. We have a lot going on. Dak obviously just got a huge deal in Dallas. So, Kimberly, what are your expectations for Dak this season?
Well, my expectations are a little bit lower than Michael Irvin's. Look, Dak right now is Gucci. Like, the pressure is off. Now, let me backtrack before my mentions fill up. The pressure is not completely off of Dak. He still has to live up to the contract, but the hard part is done. He got the money. He got the Cowboys to capitulate, give him what he wanted. So now he can relax and do what he does best, which is play football. And if you look at that NFC East or NFC least until they prove us otherwise, I think the Cowboys are in prime position to be the favorite in the NFC East. Even though the Giants think they're set with Daniel Jones and we don't know what Washington is going to do and Jalen Hurts is in Philly, I get all that. But to me, Dak is the best QB in that division. They have the best roster. So it's on Dak to just go out and show, you know what? I have been the guy. I'm not that fourth-round pick anymore that some of you think I am. Like, I can do this.
I am on Michael Irvin energy when it comes specifically to that deal. That deal was so fire. That deal was so fire. I can't believe that's even in his vocabulary, but he did his thing. But, you know, as an athlete that myself has come back, you know what it is, Mr. Spears. As an athlete that has come back from injury myself, I love to see Dak Prescott win. I mean, he is a guy that has really matured in the best way possible after being a fourth-round pick right to now, you know, winning the franchise tag battle process, getting that 4-year, $160 million deal. And to me, it was really abundantly clear that he is the engine that made this machine go last season and the seasons before. And Kimberly, you talked about the NFC East. I mean, the NFC East, you know, this is a place that he can, like you said, there's no pressure because he's the certified quarterback in that division. Now, mind you, I am proudly from the state of Texas. And even though it's getting pretty complicated in the streets these days, I know, you know, Marcus Spears, as you are, you know, a former Cowboy yourself, like to have the pride of a team that wants you eventually, you know, in the contract by the pay, right? He wanted to be there. He wanted to be a Cowboy. You came on Shenango Junior Spears and talked about how hard it was for him to even rationalize leaving. So for Dak to get paid, be on the team that he wants, the O-line is getting healthier. They have solid skill positions. And of course, you've got Zeke, feed me, right? The Cowboys are in a really good position. But, you know, the biggest winner of this all was largely Dak Prescott. And I'm glad to see a guy that is going to be a comeback warrior win.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. But the significant pressure comes from obviously the expectations of his individual performance, right? Like once that money is attached, we all critically, we are more critical to the top tier guys. Like that's the natural reaction to when you see this type of money being passed out. But here's the deal. Like Dak Prescott has been playing under pressure pretty much his entire life. Like he's okay in this moment. Now it's about what the Dallas Cowboys do as a team to continue to build and surround him, and obviously bringing in Quinn defensively to try to get that side better. But Dak is built for this, and I know a lot of people have talked about that, and he's not a rest on your laurels guy. I covered him when he was at Mississippi State and understand his makeup, his family's makeup, the things that he's been through. So all of the congratulatory stuff is warranted because we all kind of have an idea of the journey for Dak Prescott as far as getting paid. But Dak, in the meantime, while we've talked about this for the last 2 or 3 years, has done nothing but perform. He's done nothing but be a really good quarterback and put himself in a position to get what he got on that payday. So I look forward to seeing him have a lot of success going forward. Now it's on Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Will McClay, the personnel decision makers on the Dallas Cowboys staff and the front office to make sure you get creative about how you surround Dak with players. And by the way, let me put this in because a lot of people are talking about the significant cap numbers. This year, Dak is not costing the Dallas Cowboys much against their cap or flexibility to go out and try to sign players to be a good football team this year. And I do consider them the favorite in the division because Dak Prescott is the quarterback. It's that simple.
Well, look, Dak Prescott's bottom still a lot higher than most people's, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. He started at the bottom. Now he's here. All right, guys, let's move on to another quarterback in the same division. Now, Jeffrey Lurie has made it clear he does not want any quarterback competition for Jalen Hurts. He wants to see if Hurts is the long-term solution for Philly. So, Kimberly, what's your expectations for Hurts this season?
You know, it is great. If I'm Jalen Hurts, I feel really good that the front office at least has said, this is the guy. Let's do what we can to make him thrive in this system, because that's not rocket science. That's what we should be doing for all of our players, especially quarterbacks, right? You want to put them in advantageous situations. So this is not like something huge, but it does not happen often in the NFL. Now, if I'm Jalen Hurts, I'm also sort of like, okay, Carson Wentz was the guy not that long ago. He got paid. So every opportunity I go out there, I got to show out, because the Eagles have shown, I don't know, a lot of the moves they made last year, like none of it made sense. Like the extension for Carson, all of it together. Extending Carson, drafting Hurts, like all of it is sort of like, okay, what's the plan? Like, okay, they want to bench Carson. No, they don't. We're going to wait week to week. We're going to put Jalen in. So as an organization, if I'm Jalen, I'm sort of like, okay, each week, I just got to be the best me. Like, I got to go out there and play the roster. Like I said, I think Dallas has the best roster right now. Eagles, I think they have the worst. They got to add some pieces. This is a team in flux, so that's not a great situation for Jalen Hurts. But when Marcus is talking about Dak is built for this, Jalen is built for this too. Like this situation of, not being the guy initially and having to prove yourself. And when you talk to people around the league, they're like, this kid just has something. This kid is so magnetic. People just want to follow him. So even though this roster may not be where the Eagles need it to be, best believe Jalen is the kind of quarterback that can rally the guys and say, you know what? I can take over. I can win this game. I can put you in a good spot. Like, I can throw you open. So I think we got to be a little cautious about what we expect from the Eagles in 2021. But if Jalen just shows improvement, that's all you can ask, really.
That's a fact. And you're right. When I look at that roster, that is the big energy, Kimberly. Make it make sense. There's a lack of a plan. And I'm glad that the Eagles aren't looking to repeat history that got them in all that trouble last year, where they had no plan for their backup quarterback that actually saved the day based on how things shook up with Carson Wentz. It amounted in a pretty untenable relationship between, quarterback and coach that got both of them out of town. Now, the interesting part to me is that, this is a really quarterback-rich draft. And I don't know if you guys caught, Todd McShay's last draft mock-up, 5 QBs going in the top 9 in the NFL draft, which is wild. But if you have the 6th pick, I'm just glad that they're not looking actively to sort of, create these mistakes that they just did a year or so ago. And they're trying to build with a little bit of stability based on what they saw towards the end of last season. So they're going to figure out how to replace, restructure,
Patrick, when they trying to just, okay, listen, we giving you the keys, right? You at the helm. We giving you an opportunity to go out and see what you can do. So obviously there's the pressure, and I'm with you, Kim. He's built for it. But the bottom line is when you come out and openly endorse, especially from an ownership standpoint, now the coaches and the general manager and the people, the personnel day to day working with Jalen Hurts has to have that in the back of their mind, even when they're watching a potential competition play out. But as we stand today, Carson Wentz is in Indianapolis. Jalen Hurts came in the final 4 games of the season, did pretty good, beat the Saints in his first debut outing, which I think is a little bit less difficult because teams don't know what you're going to do or who you're going to be. But it's an endorsement because he's the only guy there. But I expect for them to at least make a move in order to not only solidify that room, but to create some type of competition in camp going forward to make sure Jalen is ready to do what they need him to do at that spot.
Yeah, Hurts the only quarterback under contract as of right now. Now let's move on to Seattle. Now, Seahawks president sent out a letter to the season ticket holders already this week talking about the upcoming season. And interestingly enough, he mentioned all the star players, but neglected to mention the quarterback, Russell Wilson. So, Kimberly, what are your expectations for Wilson in Seattle this season?